Welcome back to FatFitFam, Singapore Realist Fitness Podcast. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Dan.
Last time, Dan mentioned that he's refereeing for HSBC Rugby 7s. And he mentioned what's the difference between the different 7s and 15s.
Yes.
So now he's going to talk about how he copes with refereeing and what it means to him.
So, just to iterate, I won't be a main referee, okay? Because the referee in the middle, if you can see on the slides here, the referee in the middle is actually a full-time paid referee, okay? So, I'm gonna be the one at the side, the assistant referee. But still, it's a very high accolade for a referee, right? Because obviously I'm a part-timer, I don't do this as a full-time. And the full-time ones in the middle, right? They also have their own selection criteria. So how they get selected to referee these tournaments, this is literally one of the highest in the world, shown on TV, etc. They obviously have to be very, very good referees, top in the world. They have selection criteria like fitness levels, how they perform in other tournaments, but also there's this thing called branding. Okay, this is something very interesting that maybe I don't go to the slide first. I want to explain to you, right? Is that each referee, what they're kind of looking for is the brand of the referee. So how does this guy referee? Is he very stern? Does he talk a lot? Does he not talk a lot? Is he very fast? Is he very big? Is he very calm? Does he take a lot of time to make a decision? Does he take very short? The thing is, from my perspective, right, they're trying to get a mix of these referees. So they don't want every referee to be a robotic, same person making every decision the same way. Yeah. So why that matters is because, like I mentioned in the previous episode, when two countries or two teams are coming together, the higher level kind of like performance review or whatever is looking at how are these two teams going to play? Are they going to play more running, more contest, and what's the best referee to put in that match? Yeah.
So there is like the person deciding your timetable will actually know how the teams play.
Correct. Yes.
Then based on how the teams play, did they select the best fitting referee?
Yes. Correct.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So like I said, if it's a one-way New Zealand versus give the example of Singapore, right?
Yeah.
So New Zealand versus Singapore, I would say you can just put up to any referee up there, because even the junior referees, because it's just going to be score and score and score and score. Versus if you have two really highly contested ones, then that referee has to be a bit more experienced to kind of like, if something happens, right, there's very niche, very like...
The advantage you give to either team will matter.
Yes, exactly. So it's kind of like, exactly. So if you give a decision this way, and then it affects the final score by 1 point. Yeah, then it's a very crucial thing. A better referee or a better referee to manage those kind of games should be appointed. Whereas, like I said, the one-sided one, right? If you make a mistake, who cares?
It's like
the
10
score
versus
is
1. Even if you score one more, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
If it's like so close, then 1 point will matter.
Make a lot of difference, yeah. So this is the kind of selection for both HSBC 7s and the Olympics also. So I'm definitely not at that level, or rather, I don't think I ever will, because I'm a bit late. I'm 30 already. Some of these guys are 30 and like at the peak, or like still going up and that kind of thing lah. But of course, I have great mentorship from other referees that I've met around the world like this. Okay, so back to it. So what is the HSBC Rugby 7s to me, like the Singapore one especially, right? So to me, it is the highest level of rugby in Singapore. So you can have, I've shown you, I've refereed like club games, school games, primary school games, secondary school games. I've refed all these before, right? And obviously, it's quite contested. Sometimes if you see, like your Saints versus RI, or the parents will like, oh, cheer here, cheer there, right? But obviously, these are not countries. These are just avid parents, right? These HSBC 7s in Singapore, an opportunity for a Singaporean referee to be on the field is one of the very few where it's countries versus countries. And there's like I said, World Cup level where a whole country is watching and supporting their teams. So it's the highest level of rugby you can get in Singapore. This is not like a claim from me, this is a fact. Okay, it's the highest level of rugby in Singapore. Okay, the second one, this is also not a claim, this is a fact. It's played by the fastest players in the world. So Khalil Al and Perry Baker. If I'm not wrong, right, they are both ex-Olympic sprinters. I don't know if you've heard of them before, but I think they did 400 meters or something like that. So Khalil Al is the one at, maybe you can use my mouse, if you can see my mouse. Khalil Al is this one just right of the video, and then Perry Baker is the a bit taller one on the right here. Yeah, so their job, right, if you can see, right, as rugby players, right, they're not that big, they're actually pretty skinny. But this is the beauty of rugby sevens, where you don't really need that build, you just need the agility, the speed. So all you need to do is just be fast, see the gap and just go. So that's what these two players can do. They both play for Team USA, but there are other, of course, faster players in other teams also. But just to highlight, they are really Olympic level.
7 minutes, in my opinion, is like a 2K run.
Yeah. So to them it's nothing, right? To them it's nothing. So honestly, when I see them, I mean, I'm not going to throw shit to the international rugby player, but I don't think their tackling is the best. You know, I wouldn't think that their passing is the best. Their job is really get the ball and run, and they are the best at that. Yeah. Okay. So to me, it's really a test of my own speed to catch up with them and to follow up with them. Yeah. And the last point there is the top brass for rugby referees globally. So I think globally, I have friends who are referees in Malaysia, because I've refereed there before, in India or whatever. They always get very excited, or sometimes they love to talk to me about my experience at the HSBC Sevens, because they want to be there. So I think it's a very unique experience as a referee, because this tournament decided to host one leg of it in Singapore, and for example not in Malaysia. Perhaps infrastructure, money, or all these kind of reasons, but it fell in such a perfect place that me live in Singapore and we have this opportunity to do it, right? So you can imagine the Malaysian referees are, I wouldn't say struggling, but it's a bit harder for them to be there, because obviously the host country has the priority.
Correct.
Yeah. So previously, in previous tournaments, we had more than 6 Singaporean referees, because you had the other roles such as the Ingo judges, but now they cut to 6. So if you think about it, these 6 are basically the top 6 that the country/society deems you as the
top
best
6 referees
to put
in Singapore.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So that's how I see it. Of course, there are some other factors that go into it. Maybe some of the better referees are injured or that kind of thing.
The schedule maybe, or something.
But it kind of puts you at
yourself
really level of I am a top 10 referee in Singapore.
Correct.
Like really. I again, arrogance in it, but at the same time I feel I deserve it. I work so damn hard, man.
Especially being fit and being able to run, and maybe you talk about the qualifications.
Exactly.
How you actually train for it.
So like I said, right, in my very first 10-year challenge, at 10 years, I already had 2 years experience as a referee. So can you imagine, I have 12 years experience as a referee now. So I do think I've worked or slogged really hard to get to this point. It's not any how you just started refereeing today, tomorrow you can referee this thing. It really takes years for you to get there. Okay, so I just want to show you the speed. So I want to highlight the second point, the fastest player. So Khalil Al.
So one length of the field is what, 100 meters?
Yes, 100 meters.
So you can count.
He gets the ball now. Bang!
And now Carlin in the red headband.
So this is in Singapore.
Red headband, white hot. Carlin.
He ran like one whole length of the field in 8 seconds, about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Welcome to FatFitFam. So this year, 2026, we're collabing with Repeat Order for protein coffee and
matcha creatine.
Yeah, matcha creatine. You can mix and match also. You can put creatine in your coffee or protein in your matcha. So up to you, right? So order from Repeat Order and enjoy. Remember to eat well,
run fast,
lift heavy, and get your coffee fix from Repeat Order. So his top speed, if I'm not wrong, he shows 34 kilometers per hour, which is crazy, right? So
usually, I think, if I'm not wrong, 100 meters, the world record is 9 point something seconds.
Yes.
9.6.
So
he did like almost that. Almost around 8 seconds, I counted in my head.
So if you see here, this one wearing black jersey is the referee. Let's see how far away he is, right? So once this guy switches on, so he's here. And you can see, trying to keep up and nowhere close.
Nowhere close.
So that's me also on the sidelines. I don't think I was refereeing this match, but at the sidelines here, that's where the referees are trying to catch up, and it's really very hard to catch up. So I would say it's really one of the biggest fitness tests or speed tests that you have as a referee in Singapore. Yeah, so this just means a lot to me. Okay, but the plus point of it also is that you actually see, okay, it doesn't mean so much to me, but something really cool is that actually backstage I see all the players, all these international players. So some people out there, you're gonna see it on the weekend, you're gonna be there. Is that some of the avid fans, right? They were like, oh, go down there, oh, can I have your signature? Can I have your signature? But then at the back, right, I'm just sharing like locker rooms with them, sharing the toilet with them, just saying hi, like you know, like they'll be like, oh, hi, Ref, and I'll be like, oh, hi, like Dan Norton, like the most popular player of this country. You know, everyone is scrambling to get their signature or whatever, but I'm just there like saying hi, shaking hands. So that's one of the very cool side aspects of this particular role.
You're part of the event itself.
Yeah, I'm part of the event.
You feel
It's very
involved,
cool. Yeah.
you feel a sense of accomplishment.
Correct,
you get to meet these famous players.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you can
Interact with
imagine.
them.
Yeah. So you can imagine these players, right? I really like the Messi and Ronaldos of the rugby world. And I really just at the backstage, or at the tunnels and whatever, I'm just like saying hi to them, all this kind of thing. It's really, really very cool. Yeah. Okay. So next one, yeah. So what is HSBC Rugby 7 Singapore? So Singapore specifically. So just now I shared more of the overall thing. So what is Singapore one? So I pulled this from the Singapore Rugby Union Instagram. So actually it's a whole festival when it comes to Singapore. Okay, we start on the left side here. We have some causes, some U14 school sevens. Actually, as of this recording, is actually happening this weekend. We are recording this on 24th of Jan. So there are these tournaments that are happening around Singapore. So they are having sevens as well, but it's the U14 ones. I guess to just kind of like get into the rugby mood this whole weekend, this whole 2-3 weeks is all about rugby essentially. So I have my friends refereeing out there today. They're just sending some messages as well, and then we go to the 30th of January and 31st of January. On the 30th of January, which is a Friday, there's actually Southeast Asians Sevens. It's very similar to the SEA Games actually, because mostly all the teams that played in the SEA Games for sevens are also playing this tournament. So the Singapore team, which I showed you in the previous video, they are playing and I also saw them train and all this kind of thing. Quite interesting. And then after that, the 31st Jan, they will have the finals of this tournament at the National Stadium, the big stadium. So you might actually catch that. I need to send you the schedule, but essentially you can see, hopefully if Singapore makes the finals, you can see them play in the big stadium.
Okay.
And then after that, compare them directly to the international level.
So I would guess that those players, Singapore players who play for the Southeast Asian Games, they won't be participating in the Sevens Day one.
They will.
Okay, so they will back to back.
Yes, because typical sevens tournament is 2 days, so essentially it's the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So they are qualifying for the finals on this 30th, and then on the 31st they'll play.
This like back to back, so they have to be
it's
really,
like
really
fit and
in the zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'll send you the schedule when they are playing.
What is Ruck and Rumble?
Ruck and Rumble is this one, the school one. So this Ruck and Rumble is, if I'm not wrong, it's primary school, but it's the international school, the Angmo schools. The Australian International School, the American International School, they'll have this tournament. Yeah, so they'll play it there. And then, of course, this 31st Jan, the one that you are coming, is the HSBC Sevens Day one, which is for them, or for the national teams, it's their group stage. Yeah, and the finals will be on the Sunday, which you're not coming to, but yeah, just to share. So is it. But of course, around this weekend, we also have the HSBC Sevens Day 2, which I mentioned, some school finals, and then after that, B Division starts actually next week, and then 7 February, there'll be the National Club 15s League. So it's a whole kind of 2-3 weeks thing that's all about rugby, like I said. But the biggest highlight, obviously, is this HSBC Sevens. Okay, so I do want to pop to this Instagram, which is the Instagram of the HSBC Rugby Sevens, kind of to get you excited as well, because you're going to be there and what it is like. So, okay, now maybe I can open this schedule. So the schedule looks like that. So like I showed you, right, it starts at about 10:20. So France will play Canada for 14 minutes. Then we have some time for injury time or whatever. And then after that, New Zealand will play Great Britain and USA will play. So you just follow these timings here. But here also got put women's pool, men's pool. So depending on what you want to see here. Obviously, this is not showing the C7's final, but then I'll update you separately. But yeah, so this is kind of like the schedule. But what I wanted to say also is that HSBC Sevens in Singapore is more than just rugby actually. It's more carnival feel, it's more of people actually dress up to go there. So I'll show you people usually dress up in jerseys, but also more than that in like cute outfits and whatnot. And I saw this yesterday also.
I was about to point this out.
Yeah.
This.
If your girlfriend is interested in this,
Perfect. I do love Peppa Pig.
yeah, you can meet Peppa Pig and the what's it, My Little Pony.
Ponies, yes.
They're gonna be there. You can meet and greet Peppa Pig.
I'm excited for Peppa Pig.
Yeah, but I want to show you some videos also just to hype it up. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the women's. Okay, I won't discount the women's one. The women's are pretty good also. So do give them a watch.
Oh, wow, she did a somersault. Ouch.
Cool promo. I love their promos, man. Their promos are really cool. So here, like for example, 7 things to do, HSBC Sevens. So yeah, a lot of them dress up like this. So if you and your girlfriend really want to dress up, really just go ahead, bro. You won't.
I don't have to wear anything also. I just
or don't wear anything. Yeah, but really, if you guys really want to feel a party atmosphere, right? Of course, there's beer and all this kind of thing that you can buy, but really, it's a party atmosphere. You can wear whatever you want. I saw people in like banana costumes one. Distracted me once actually. Last time when I was on the film, but face painting, all this kind of cool stuff. There's like booths outside. You can do like rollerblading, this kind of thing.
Oh, that's the banana that.
Yeah. Maybe it was this banana, but could be a different banana. Photo spots and all this kind of thing. Food and drinks I mentioned just now. There are some performances outside also. So really, like drums and all this kind of thing.
And I guess outside you don't have to pay. It's only when you go inside.
Good question. Actually, yes, you're right. I think should be.
So you don't even need to have a ticket.
To enjoy the atmosphere. Yeah, look at this. So cool. One family is just dressing up Power Rangers for no reason. By the way, it's not related.
It's not even. Yeah.
It's just like let's just take out the Halloween costumes and use it. No reasons, bro. Like no reason. Just go and wear whatever you want. Of course, the games itself and. Yeah, so this is what the weekend is gonna be for you.
Me off for a second. I thought that was camo.
Oh no, I think it's just very very cool. Is this a video? Off the pitch they'll have this rock and number. I think the kids school.
Kids
there's family zone. I mean this is a bit more for my kid and other kids that are coming by. Food. The C7 is the one that I show you. The Singapore team is competing, trying to get to the finals. And more stuff. And then, of course, what you are kind of really looking forward to is this kind of players, right? Top level Fijian.
One of the rugby sevens, Singapore investment. The world's fastest rugby is coming back to Singapore again this year. From the 1st Jan to 1st Feb 2026. So you can expect a weekend of action-packed matches.
Look how big they are, dude, for how fast they are. It's crazy.
Sevens to me is all about heart, speed, and bone cleansing tackles.
Whoa, look at that.
To see the action that will be going on at the Singapore National Stadium. Let's make it a weekend to remember. Get your tickets and I'll catch you there.
Someone with a curry puff and the kuih, all the kuihs.
So maybe let's look at it. Fiji, right? I really love refereeing Fiji. Why? Because Fiji, they have a whole section at the stands, right? Where is their fellow countrymen just dancing, bro, the whole time. They're just like playing the drum, like like for the whole 40 minutes. And I'm like, oh, these guys are pretty hype, man. And they're damn good, bro. Yeah. Look at their power, man. Damn strong. Look at that. Ooh.
Ouch. They fly the ball.
Yeah.
Fast.
Very cool. Okay. So, there's a lot more here. I mean, obviously, you can have a look at their Instagram and have a look. It's going to be really fun. I can promise you that. Of course, you're going to see me on the field, which I think is always very exciting. Okay, so back to the slides. Okay. So the HSBC Sevens Singapore referee squad.
So you're part of the 6.
Okay. Yes. Okay. The picture here is not this year. This is the 2021, the one where I got selected also. But I just want to include it lah. Just part of how it looks like. So the assistant referees are selected by the Singapore, like the Society for Referees lah, which works in tandem with the Singapore Rugby Union, which is the main Singapore rugby body in Singapore, who organizes all the things. I mean, not this particularly, but you know, the main Singapore rugby body. And then so we are shortlisted. Then after that, we have a final selection. So when we are shortlisted, we start our training already together as focusing on refereeing sevens as an assistant referee. And then we are evaluated on things like performance in previous tournaments. So I refereed a few like SEC sevens, all different types of tournaments, and they see my performance lah. And then experience. So having done the HSBC 7 actually helps. So like for example, I've done it like twice, so I know like how it flows. I know what kind of physical demands it takes, how your body needs to prepare / recover once you're done, all these kind of things. And when things happens on the field, what to do, what not to do, I kind of know already just based on pure experience, so that helps. Fitness levels, a Bronco test, this is something I'll talk about in the next slide. As you know, sevens require very high speed and endurance, and weekly training lah. I mean, we have training every week just to recap the laws, the scenarios, and also do fitness trainings. Yeah. So Okay, so the Bronco test. So last time I used to do the yo-yo test, which is below, right?
Okay.
So have you heard of the yo-yo test?
I haven't heard of the yo-yo test.
Okay, yo-yo test.
I haven't heard of neither of these tests.
Okay, can.
Actually.
Okay, then I go through the Bronco first. So because Bronco is something that I do, and actually I think for let's say Singapore Premier League football players, right? I think they have to do the Bronco test also to like kind of like be qualified to the team, something like that lah. Okay, so what the Bronco test is just high intensity fitness test. You run to certain distances back and forth, shuttle run lah, essentially, for a certain number of sets, and then you are timed in this period. So you are looking for aerobic capacity, recovery ability, and mental toughness. So for what we did was we run to the 20 meter, like we'll measure 20 meters. This is on the field, but we're not on track. So run on the field 20 meters, then you come back to the start line, run 40 meters, come back to the start line, 60 meters, come back to the start line. That's one set, and we do 5 sets.
So, okay, up to 60. So total in this case will be...
I think the total is 1.2 kilometers, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 sets are total.
Yes, total is 5 sets, yeah. So there is a target time, which is about 5 minutes 30, okay? So, or better 5 minutes lah. But in terms of selection, we're kind of just doing it in ranking order, fastest to the slowest, then the first top 6 is the...
Is after you do 60, you go back to 20.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So 60, you go back in, then there's one set, then you go to 20, back, 40, back, 60, back, and there's 2 sets. Then you do 5 sets of that. Yeah.
So about 1.25 minutes. Yeah. Pretty fast.
Pretty strong, yeah.
Pretty fast.
Strong.
Yeah.
I think the problem, right, it's not the distance or the speed, it's the turning. It is when you plant your foot and you have to twist and go and restart from 0 back to your
acceleration
running pace, right?
I get the point.
Very difficult.
You need to really swing.
Correct, yeah. For me, it's about the strides. So how big steps you take actually helps a lot. Yeah.
Plus, you're also wearing boots, right?
Exactly, you're wearing boots also. Yeah. Okay, so alternatively, yo-yo test was something that we used before the Bronco. Before the Bronco kind of like became popular, was it's very similar. You run back and forth like shuttle run, but there's like a I won't say Spotify lah, but like a music track to play where there are beeps. Yeah, I think our what do you call it? Face is covering the thing.
Oh, okay.
Let me just move this aside. Okay, so the yo-yo test is basically like yo-yo test. I cannot remember the distance, so I never put here. But essentially, they play this sound, then it'll be like beep. Okay, then you go. Then you run a certain distance. Then you must finish before the second beep. Beep. Then you rest a while. Beep. It will start again. Then you start going. And then beep. You must finish before. So if you miss the second beep, that means you're out. Okay, so yo-yo test goes by level. So I can't remember the levels, but it's something like 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4. So it's like a
this
level.
one sounds more fun, the yo-yo.
It is, but for me, very tricky because of the audio cue. You don't really know when the next beat is coming. So even if you have a bit more in the tank, you cannot let
I
it go.
see. So it's a bit strategic also.
Yeah, correct. So if
maintain your speed.
if I'm thinking, okay, I need to reserve for the next lap, but then beep, oh shit, I didn't even make it to the next one.
Okay,
so
I get what
then
you mean. Yeah, so you
it's
must
very
really go
tricky.
all out.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah, then
You,
there will be
if you
time
go
to
all out,
rest.
yes, you have more rest time,
Yeah.
but it's very tricky lah.
In general, it's best to maintain speed.
Yes,
and
or adjust accordingly as to when you need.
Yeah,
so to me,
exactly.
Bronco is a bit more like IPPT, where you know if you're at your last lap and you still got gas in the tank, you can go as fast as you need and just burn it off until you finish. Yeah. Whereas Yo-Yo is a bit more strategic, like you said, a bit more trickier, lah, in my opinion. Yeah. So actually, both to me test about the same thing, lah. But Yo-Yo test is a bit more, game sport fitness, cardiovascular capacity, and the recovery is basically about the same, recovery ability. Okay, so assistant referee training. Okay, so the video on the right here is the Bronco test. Okay, I only show like 10 seconds of it, or me running back 60 meters back lah. But of course, there's a turning point out, that kind of thing also. It's really very tiring. So I want to say is that so for what we do in our assistant referee training, the weekly one, we will do mock Broncos. So we'll do like only one set or two sets instead of the whole five. Oh, I realized this one is coming.
no, okay,
watch it again.
Yeah.
Watch it again. Okay, it's just me running back. Okay, but this is on the field. We train at CCAB. It's not called PESEB lah.
MOE.
That one lah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay, so we do mock Broncos, like I said, we do maybe we just do 1 or 2 sets, then we just break, and then we do another 2 sets, and we kind of thing. Okay, then interval training, so we run around the track, typical 1 lap under 1 minute 30, 1 minute 45, then you do how many sets. Distance endurance runs, so these are like your 5Ks, your whatever. So these are the ones that you like we talked about in the previous episode lah. So I'm not going to go into that. Okay, but the special part is, and then we go to the specific referee itself training, which is what I wanted to talk about lah. So two
it's
things.
more brain one.
Yes, more brain one. AR drills and decision making reviews. So the AR drills, right, is something like where I don't have a video of it because I didn't film the training. So it's more of like there are 3 different colored cones here, and maybe even 6 different colored cones, whatever. Colored cones, another colored cones over there. So what you have to do, right, is that 2 people will scissors, paper, stone. Then you need to remember who's the winner and what's the color of his cone that he's standing in front of. Then run to the other side. They do it again, and then after that, and then you continue running. Then when you come back, you have to say who won, what color of the cone was he standing on.
Okay, so more memory work.
It's not memory. It is, but at the same time, you can't imagine this in a game sense. So that means when I'm running as a referee, something happened there. But then the play continue first. I follow first.
Okay.
Then after that, the referee come up to me. What happened there just now? Who punched who? Like I said,
You need to remember and notice small
so
things.
I'm like, this guy was the guy who punched the other guy, and this guy was wearing black color, number 7.
So in this instance, is the scissors, paper, stone.
Correct. In this instance, I mean, there could be a punch or whatever, so you can tell me who win, who lose, that kind of thing.
Must you say, this guy put paper, this guy put stone?
Okay, when it gets to higher, that's like level 1. Level 2 is like, you must remember he choose paper or that kind of thing. Yeah, so we do this kind of training. Then we do kind of like the positioning training, which I kind of tell you. It's less of training, but more of like standardization. So where you choose to stand on the field, I must like kind of like emulate it throughout the whole weekend lah. We cannot differentiate, right? So so that's the point. And then we go through the scenarios, like I said, the decision making review. So we do like we watch videos on the laptop, and then we just see like we'll see in real time. Then our like referee trainer will just press pause and say, "What will you do? What will you say?"
Okay.
And then you kind of like being put on the spot lah. But then that's what will happen on the weekend. So you'll be like, okay, I will say that the ball is still live, we play on, I'm not going to raise my flag. And then you stand with your decision, right? Then after that, we ask everybody, okay, everybody agree? Then maybe somebody will say, no, I don't think so, because the ball went out this way, or it touched this thing, so it should be considered as out. I will raise my flag. Then we discuss. Then we discuss. Okay, so the final answer is, okay, we should all be standardized. So everyone has a standardized, aligned framework of how to manage a situation. Okay, but the thing is, like I said, if I go back to my slides, right? The thing is, we are doing the training first, and then AR second. So,
So
that's
you-
when you are mentally
so
fatigued.
tired, you still must make the decision.
Yeah, exactly. Which is exactly how it will be on that weekend. Yeah. So, like you said, refereeing is more than just about the fitness aspect. It's really about the mental fatiguing aspect also. When you're tired,
Still
when
must think.
you must think on a split decision notice.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So how often do you do this per week?
Okay, this is actually once a week only.
Once a week,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. For referee specific training lah. Okay.
Yeah. So then, this episode we talked about the training program of how you train for HSBC sevens.
Yeah, as an AR lah, for that squad. Yeah, but I think in the next episode, I actually want to talk about how I personally train. I mean, granted, you know, the 6 of us that were chosen, right? I don't think the other 5 are training like how I'm training. They might have their own training programs, but the way I do it is quite quite hard on lah, quite vigorous. And I'll share in the next episode.
Because this is only one training, right? One compulsory training. So
Correct,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
other
Per week,
trainings
yeah.
in the week itself.
That's
So
right.
probably in the next episode we can talk about that.
Yeah. So to recap, the referees have one combined training where we train together, but I think it's very important for me personally to have individual training outside of this also, and also throw in a bit of a diet, you know, to make sure that the body is ready to perform over this really very strenuous weekend lah. Yeah. Okay, so that wraps up this episode. Next episode, I'll share more. Yeah, about this HSBC 7. Okay, so anything else? Maybe?
Nothing else from me.
Good.
Remember to always run fast
Eat well.
and lift heavy. We rotated a bit.
Alright.
See you next time.
See you next episode.